All right, everybody, I think we are ready to get started. It is 6 o'clock. Tonight, we have an opportunity to conduct our public briefing over redistricting. These are the recommendations for public briefing and hearing. Bill Heiser will take us through this presentation. Bill, I will pass it over to you. Let's get started.
Thank you, Dr. Bedell. Thank you, Dr. Bedell.
You're welcome.
President Silkworth, Vice President Dent, members of the board, and Dr. Bedell. I am Bill Heiser, Chief Operating Officer of AACPS. This is a briefing on Phase 2 redistricting, summarizing the 4 recommendations that the Board of Education moved forward for public hearings. During this presentation, we'll be using several acronyms, so I'll take a moment for you to review. This agenda outlines the key topics being covered, starting with an overview and comparison of the recommendations. I'll then detail the notable areas of changes among the Superintendent's Recommendation 1, SR1, and Superintendent's Recommendation 2, SR2, as well as Board Recommendation 1, BR1, and Board Recommendation 2, BR2. Finally, I'll outline the next steps in the Phase 2 redistricting process. I'll begin with an overview and comparison of the 4 recommendations. On September 17, 2025, the Board of Education voted to advance 4 recommendations. Both superintendent recommendations were approved to create SR1 and SR2. The board amended SR1 and SR2 with 8 amendments that were bundled, and they created BR1 and BR2. This slide shows key metrics of the 2 superintendent recommendations noted as SR1 and SR2 compared to the school year 24-25 boundaries and enrollments. Relative to school year 24-25, SR1 increases overall distance traveled by approximately 1% and impacts approximately 2% of the Phase 2 students. SR2 is less impactful. In SR2, the overall distance traveled and the number of rezoned students is lower than SR1. This slide shows key metrics of the 2 board recommendations noted as BR1 and BR2 compared to the current boundaries. Relative to the current boundaries, BR1 increases overall distance traveled by approximately 1% and impacts approximately 1.5% of the Phase 2 students. BR2 is less impactful. In BR2, the overall distance traveled and the number of rezoned students is lower than BR1. Based on survey and map comment responses, the superintendent's recommendations focus on reducing the number of feeder pattern changes and split articulations. In SR1, 2 feeder pattern changes are introduced, including 1 split articulation. A portion of middle school and high school students living in the Nantucket Elementary School zone are reassigned to Arundel Middle School and Arundel High School. High school students living in the Mills Parole Elementary School zone are reassigned to South River High School. In SR2, only 1 feeder pattern change is introduced, and it is a split articulation. A portion of the high school students living in the Nantucket Elementary School zone are rezoned to Arundel Middle School and Arundel High School. In BR1, only 1 feeder pattern change is introduced. High school students living in the Mills Parole Elementary School zone are reassigned to South River High School. In BR2, no feeder pattern changes or split articulations are introduced. In looking at the 4 redistricting recommendations, SR1, SR2, BR1, and BR2, the estimated utilizations have similar distribution. There are 8 schools that would be under 70% utilization, 22 to 23 schools within the 70 to 90% utilization, 21 to 22 schools within the 90 to 100% range, 1 school at the 100 to 110 range, and 0 schools over 110% for SR1 and SR2, and 1 school over 110% for BR1 and BR2. If no boundary changes are implemented, 7 schools will remain over 100% of the state rated capacity, and 1 will be over 110% of the state rated capacity. SR1 and SR2 introduced the legacy provision whereby students that will be entering 12th grade in school year 26-27 will have the option to remain at the high school to which they are currently assigned. Students electing to remain at their current high school will be required to enter a legacy student transfer portal. Transportation will not be provided for legacy students opting to remain at their current school. All other students will be required to attend their newly assigned schools. BR1 and BR2 include a legacy provision whereby students that will be entering the 11th and 12th grade in school year 2026-27 will have the option to remain at the high school to which they are currently assigned. Students electing to remain at their current high school will be required to enter a legacy student transfer portal. Transportation will not be provided for legacy students opting to remain at their current school, and student parking is not guaranteed for juniors. All other students will be required to attend their newly assigned schools. Current magnet school students' assignments will be honored. Students currently enrolled in a magnet program at a secondary school will continue to be enrolled in their current assigned school. Magnet school transportation will continue to be provided. For example, under all 4 recommendations, magnet students whose home school is currently Annapolis High School and who is enrolled in the Annapolis High School IB program will remain enrolled at Annapolis High School regardless of boundary assignment changes. But under SR2 and BR2, magnet students enrolled in the Annapolis High School Apex program will remain enrolled in the Apex program, but will be relocated to Severn Run High School regardless of boundary assignment changes. Magnet transportation will be provided. SR2 and BR2 does not impact any other magnet programs. Now I'd like to review the notable areas of boundary changes contained in SR1 and SR2. As a reminder, the hatched areas of the screen note areas being redistricted from current boundaries. In both of the superintendent's recommendations, SR1 and SR2 propose identical elementary school level boundary changes. In Area A, significant adjustments are observed within the Arundel, Crofton, Meade clusters. Due to ongoing residential development in this region of the county, a review of the boundaries for Two Rivers Elementary School and Piney Orchard was deemed necessary. Additionally, in response to increased residential growth near the Odenton Town Center, boundary modifications were implemented among Odenton, Manorview, and Seven Oaks Elementary. In Area B, SR1 and SR2 reassigned some elementary school students from Davidsonville Elementary School to Central Elementary School. It includes the reassignment of some elementary school students from Central Elementary School to Edgewater Elementary School. In Area C, SR1 and SR2, adjustments are made to the boundaries impacting some elementary school students from Folger McKinsey Elementary School to Zaferna Park Elementary School. Additionally, adjustments are made to boundaries impacting the reassignment of some elementary school students from Belvedere Elementary School to Arnold Elementary School. In areas D for SR1 and SR2, adjustments are made to the boundaries impacting some elementary school students from Tracy's Elementary School to Deal Elementary School and from Deal Elementary School to Shadyside Elementary School. When we review the movement chart in the superintendent recommendations for SR1 and SR2, the following current student count changes are noted in Area A. At Two Rivers, 84 students are moved to Piney Orchard and no new students are gained. As previously noted, this move will support room for a planned future development currently under review by the County Office of Planning and Zoning. At Piney Orchard, 119 students are gained. 35 from Four Seasons Elementary School, and 84 from Two Rivers Elementary School. In addition, 75 students are moved from Piney Orchard to Manorview. A net gain of 44 students is achieved for a utilization of 91%. At Seven Oaks Elementary School, 63 students are gained from Odenton. At Manorview Elementary, 84 students are gained from Piney Orchard. At Odenton Elementary, 28 students are moved from Wachapel Elementary School to Odenton, and 9 students are moved to Manorview Elementary, and 63 are moved to Seven Oaks. A net loss of 44 is achieved to get to 94%. At Wachapel, 28 students are moved to Odenton, and no additional students are gained to get this school below 100% to 97%. At Four Seasons, 35 students are moved to Piney Orchard, and no additional students are gained to get this school also to 97%. At Crofton Elementary School, 14 students are moved to Crofton Meadows, bringing Crofton Elementary to 92% and Crofton Meadows Elementary to 97%. In Area B, SR1 and SR2 moves the Glen Isle and Hamilton neighborhoods from Davidsonville Elementary School to Central Elementary to maintain most of Davidsonville's current boundaries, bringing Davidsonville to 99% utilization. For Central Elementary School, 27 students are gained from Davidsonville Elementary, located in the Glen Isle and Hamilton neighborhoods, and 37 students are moved from Central Elementary to Edgewater Elementary in the hatched purple area. This results in a net loss of 10 students. Central Elementary utilization is reduced to 91%, and Edgewater is increased to 93%. In the Severna Park and Broadneck clusters, Arnold Elementary School gains 88 students from Belvedere Elementary School to alleviate overcrowding, bringing Belvedere below 100% to 88%. Severna Park Elementary gains 54 students from Folger-McKenzie, which reduces Folger-McKenzie utilization to 91%. In the Southern cluster, Area D, for S1 and S2, Deal Elementary School has a net change of 29 students, gaining 57 students from Tracy's Elementary and moving 28 students to Shadyside Elementary. Tracy's Elementary has a net reduction of 54 students to balance utilization from 101% to 89%. Of those moves, 3 students are moved from Lothian to Tracy's, and 57 students are moved from Tracy's to Deal Elementary. For middle school boundary adjustments, the notable difference between current boundary and SR1 and SR2 is the articulation pattern of Nantucket Elementary, or Area A on the map. To alleviate overcrowding at the Crofton Middle School, a split articulation is proposed for a portion of Nantucket, highlighted in the hatched greenish yellow area. Students north of Nantucket's building that access Rydell Road would be moved from Nantucket Elementary to Arundel Middle School following their 5th grade year. Also, there's a boundary adjustment for a portion of Arundel Middle School students to attend MacArthur Middle School. In Area B, the portion of Edgewater Elementary north of the South River would continue to attend Central Middle School in both SR1 and SR2. In Area C, Jones Elementary School would continue to attend Severna Park Middle School in both SR1 and SR2. In SR1 and SR2 at Crofton Middle School, 103 students would move to Arundel Middle School, and 81 students would be moved from Arundel Middle to MacArthur Middle. Utilizations would be 97% at Arundel Middle, 93% at Crofton Middle, and 64% at MacArthur Middle. At the high school level, the SR1 recommendation maintains the articulation patterns introduced at the middle school for areas A and C, but introduces a new articulation pattern in Area B. High school students living in the Mills Parole Elementary School attendance zone would matriculate from Annapolis Middle School to South River High School rather than Annapolis High School. In Area A, for SR1 and SR2, Arundel High School would gain 184 students from Crofton High School, and 112 students would move from Arundel High School to Meade High School. Crofton High School's utilization is reduced from 111% to 101%. Importantly, the utilization at Crofton High School drops below 100% with an adjusted SRC if approved. Both Arundel High School and Meade High School increase to 87%. In SR1 for Area B, 393 high school students residing in the Mills Parole Elementary School boundary are moved from Annapolis High School to South River High School. This move results in Annapolis High School decreasing in utilization from 100% to 81%, and South River High School increasing to 93%. At the high school level, the SR2 recommendation maintains the articulation patterns introduced at the middle school for areas A, B, and C, but introduces a magnet school change at Annapolis High School to relieve overcrowding. This recommendation relocates the Apex Magnet program from Annapolis High School to Severn Run High School. In SR2, Area B, once the Apex program is moved, Annapolis High School enrollment will be reduced by approximately 243 students to achieve utilization under 100% to 88%. Next, I would like to review the notable area boundary changes contained in Board Recommendation 1, BR1, and Board Recommendation 2, BR2. As a reminder, the hatched areas of the screen noted areas being redistricted from current boundaries. Board Recommendation 1 and BR2 propose identical elementary school level boundary changes. In Area A, boundaries are modified for Two Rivers, Piney Orchard, Seven Oaks, and Manor View elementary schools, such that the northern portion of Piney Orchard Elementary, proposed to be zoned in SR1 and SR2, would stay at Piney Orchard Elementary, Arundel Middle, and Arundel High School, instead of changing to Manor View, MacArthur, and Meade High School. And the western portion of the Odenton Elementary School, proposed to be rezoned in SR1 and SR2, would move to Seven Oaks Elementary School instead of being split between Seven Oaks Elementary and Manor View Elementary. Additionally, a slight boundary change is made to the addresses of 442, 444, and 448 on the North Tuxant Road to Odenton Elementary School. For Area B, BR1 and BR2 maintains the recommendations in SR1 and SR2 for students moving from Davidsonville Elementary School to Central Elementary to maintain most of Davidsonville's current boundaries and adjust boundaries for a portion of Central Elementary School students to Edgewater Elementary. However, BR1 and BR2 introduces a new boundary adjustment rezoning the Gingerville, Poplar, and Will Eleanor communities into the Annapolis cluster for elementary to Rolling Knolls, for middle to Wiley Bates Middle School, and high school to Annapolis High School. Area C in BR1 and BR2 is unchanged from SR1 and SR2. Area D in BR1 and BR2 maintains the Chalk Point and Shady Oaks communities at Deal Elementary School. Finally, Area E in BR1 and BR2 moves the neighborhood south of Carrollton Road out of the Georgetown East Elementary School catchment into Hillsmere Elementary School catchment area, also moving the area bounded by Jackson Street out of the Eastport Elementary School catchment area into the Georgetown East Elementary School catchment area. When we review the movement chart for both board recommended BR1 and BR2, the following current student count changes are noted. At Two Rivers, 0 students are moved to Piney Orchard and no students are gained, remaining at 94% utilization using current enrollments. It's important to note that this utilization number does not factor in future residential growth from development. At Piney Orchard, 35 students are gained and 1 is moved. A net gain of 34 students is achieved for 89%. At Seven Oaks, 72 students are gained from Odenton Elementary, giving it 83% utilization. At Manor View, 0 students are gained. At Odenton, 28 students are moved from Wachapel Elementary to Odenton Elementary, and 1 student from Piney Orchard to Odenton. There are 17 Odenton Elementary students who are adjusted to Seven Oaks, a net loss of 43 students at Odenton Elementary and 94% utilization. At Waugh Chapel, 28 students are moved to Odenton and no additional students are gained to get this school below 100% to 97%. At Four Seasons, 35 students are moved to Piney Orchard and no additional students are gained to get this school to 97%. Lastly, there are no boundary adjustments made between Crofton Elementary School and Crofton Meadows. In Area B, BR1 and BR2 also recommend moving the Glen Isle and Hamilton neighborhoods from Davidsonville Elementary to Central Elementary to maintain most of the current boundaries there. This move helps preserve the majority of the current Davidsonville Elementary boundaries with a 99% utilization. For Central Elementary School, 27 students are gained from Davidsonville and 37 students are moved to Edgewater in the hatched purple area. This results in a net loss of 10 students at Central Elementary and 91% utilization. Under BR1 and BR2, Edgewater Elementary gains 37 students from Central Elementary. And notably, BR1 and BR2 move 69 students out of the Edgewater Elementary School in the South River feeder to Rolling Knolls Elementary in the Annapolis feeder. This adjustment reduces the utilization of Edgewater Elementary to 82% and raises utilization at Rolling Knolls to 91%. In Area C, the Severna Park and Broadneck clusters, BR1 and BR2 have the same boundary adjustments as SR1 and SR2. Arnold Elementary School gains 88 students from Belvedere Elementary to alleviate overcrowding. This adjustment brings the utilization under 100% at Belvedere. Severna Park Elementary gains 54 students from Folger Mackenzie. In Area D, in the southern cluster, BR1 and BR2 maintains the Chalk Point and Shady Oaks community at Deal Elementary and brings its utilization up to 79%. Shadyside Elementary boundaries remain unchanged with a utilization of 60%. Tracy's boundaries and utilizations are the same as those in SR1 and SR2, reducing utilization to 89%. In Area E, BR1 and BR2 adjust the elementary boundaries for Eastport Elementary, Georgetown East Elementary, and Hillsmere Elementary in the Annapolis cluster. Specifically, 11 students in the neighborhood southeast of Carrollton Road are moved out of the Georgetown East Elementary School catchment into the Hillsmere Elementary School catchment area, and adjustments are made to the area bounded by Jackson Street and the current boundary of Georgetown East Elementary. 32 students in this area propose to move from Eastport Elementary to Georgetown East Elementary in BR1 and BR2. For middle school boundary adjustments, the notable difference between those of SR1 and SR2 and those of BR1 and BR2 is the articulation pattern of Nantucket Elementary, or Area A on the map. In BR1 and BR2, there's no boundary adjustment to Crofton Middle School in purple, leaving it untouched with a utilization of 101%. In Area B, BR1 and BR2 rezoned the Gingerville, Poplar, and Will Eleanor communities from the Edgewater Elementary School north of the South River into the Annapolis cluster. Students would attend Wiley H. Bates Middle School, not Central Middle School. This adjusts Wiley H. Bates Middle School utilization to 70% and Central Middle School down to 84%. In Area C, Jones Elementary School would continue to attend Severna Park Middle School in both BR1 and BR2. In Area A, BR1 and BR2, Crofton Middle School has 0 students moving, maintaining the utilization at 101%. Additionally, 47 students from Arundel Middle School would be moved to MacArthur Middle School, reducing the utilization at Arundel Middle School to 92%. MacArthur Middle School utilization increases to 62%. In Area B, the boundary adjustment of 44 students in the Gingerville, Poplar, and Will Eleanor communities from Central Middle School into Wiley Bates Middle School in the Annapolis cluster reduces the utilization at Central Middle School to 84%, and increases Wiley Bates Middle School to 70%. At the high school level, BR1 maintains the articulation patterns introduced at the middle school for areas A and C, but introduces a new articulation pattern in area B. High school students living in the Mills Parole Elementary School attendance zone would matriculate from Annapolis Middle School to South River High School rather than to Annapolis High School. And the boundary adjustment to the Gingerville, Poplar, and Will Eleanor communities into the Annapolis cluster continues for high school with those students attending Annapolis High School. In Area A, BR1 and BR2 shows no change in students for Crofton High School, leaving the school overutilized at 111%. Arundel High School would move 60 students to Meade High School, bringing Arundel High School to 81% and Meade High School at 85% utilization. In Area B, for BR1, 393 high school students are moved from Annapolis High School to South River High School. Conversely, 42 students are moved from South River High School to Annapolis High School. BR1 reduces Annapolis High School's utilization under 100% to 83%, and South River High School's utilization increases to 91%. At the high school level, BR2 recommendation maintains the articulation patterns introduced at the middle school level in areas A, B, and C, but introduces a magnet school change at Annapolis High School to relieve overcrowding, same as in SR2. This BR2 recommendation has the proposed relocation of the Apex Magnet program from Annapolis High School to Severn Run High School. Additionally, it maintains the rezoning of the Gingerville, Poplar, and Will Eleanor communities into the Annapolis cluster for high school into Annapolis High School. Notably, there are no adjustments for Crofton High School, maintaining its current overutilization of 111%, while all other adjacent high schools are listed below 100%. BR2 in Area B, once the Apex program is moved from Annapolis High School to Severn Run High School, and 42 students are added to Annapolis High School from South River High School, Annapolis High School will reduce its enrollment by approximately 201 students to achieve utilization under 100% to 90%. Now I would transition into the impact that the recommendations will have on transportation and legacy students. Our transportation division compared the number of walkers in all 4 recommendations to the current boundaries, and there was no significant difference between the recommendations. Then they compared the estimated bus riders for the 4 recommendations, SR1, SR2, BR1, and BR2, to our current number of bus riders, and there was about 250 more bus riders in SR2 and BR2, and no changes in SR1 and BR1. SR2 and BR2 increased the bus ridership is primarily due to the movement of the Apex program from Annapolis High School to Severn Run High School. Next, our transportation division compared the SR2 to our current bus routes. Under this recommendation, there is an increased need for bus transportation within the study area, and it is estimated that 3 additional units would be required to transport students in the Annapolis cluster. In SR1 and SR2, students entering 12th grade in school year 26-27 may stay at their current high school by registering through the student transfer portal before the school year and providing their own transportation. In BR1 and BR2, the legacy program extends to both 11th and 12th graders. These students must also register via the transfer portal before the school year 26-27 and provide their own transportation. Notably, 11th graders who register must commit to remain at their current high school through graduation. The limited availability of parking for these students may present some challenges to implementation. To get to the anticipated number of legacy students, we first looked at the grade level breakdown on students at the high schools that will be rezoned in Phase 2. Approximately 23% of the high school students in Phase 2 are 11th graders, and 24% are 12th graders. We then took this information and used it to approximate the number of legacy students from the movement chart numbers. Due to the expansion of the legacy program to 11th graders in BR1 and BR2, the number of eligible legacy students was then distributed over a 3-year period to achieve full implementation. The estimated number of legacy students that have an option for rezoning in school year 26-27 is 165 in SR1 and 233 in BR1. Under SR1, redistricting is fully implemented at the start of school year 27-28, whereas in BR1, delays implementation until school year 2028-29. The impact of the legacy provision in SR1 and BR1 has the greatest impact on Crofton High School. Full implementation of redistricting would be delayed until school year 27-28 for SR1, while in BR1, no students are moved from Crofton High School and the school remains at or around 111% for the foreseeable future. In school year 27-28 and then in school year 28-29, the table indicates that Crofton would be overutilized at 101%. Keep in mind that this is based on the current SRC and would be under 100% if the IAC accepts the newly substituted SRC. BR1 would keep Crofton High School at or around 111% utilization for the foreseeable future as a result of not changing the boundaries or articulation patterns for the school. Under SR2, the estimated number of students not subject to rezoning in school year 26-27 is 71 in SR2 and 48 in BR2. Under SR2, redistricting is fully implemented at the start of school year 27-28. Under the second year of implementation in BR2, the number of legacy students is reduced to 24. It is not until the 28-29 school year that redistricting is fully implemented under BR2. Once again, the impact of the legacy students remaining at their schools under SR2 and BR2 has the greatest impact at Crofton High School. SR2 would be slightly overutilized at 103% in school year 26-27. However, BR2 does not move any students from Crofton High School and keeps the building at or near 111% for the foreseeable future. Annapolis High School, Arundel High School, and South River High School would be under 100% utilization for SR2 and BR2 if all legacy students stay at their currently assigned school. Finally, I'd like to review the next steps in the Phase 2 redistricting process. Here are the key dates for the redistricting Phase 2 process. Back on July 24th, 2025, the superintendent's recommendations were posted on the AACPS website with the opportunity for the public to comment. Online public comment took place from July 24th until September the 5th. Staff held a redistricting workshop on August the 18th, 2025. And this was followed by closing of the online comment period on September the 5th, 2025. On September 17th, the board decided to move 4 recommendations, SR1, SR2, BR1, and BR2 forward. Next steps include this public briefing, followed by 2 public hearings, one on October the 13th and the next one on October the 27th, 2025. The board is scheduled to adopt a redistricting plan on November the 19th that will go into effect in August of 2026. In December, the legacy portal will open. By January, the legacy portal will close to allow staffing and projections to be completed. Development of the new and updated bus routes would take place between February and July 1st, and the redistricting plan takes effect in August of 2026. More information could be found at the websites listed on the screen. You'll find an updated interactive web tool with all 4 recommendations, as well as the supporting documents and videos from the previous sessions for Phase 2 redistricting. This concludes the briefing at this time. Thank you for watching.